Hi, it's Karen. I'm back, and 2 days in a row. I think I just set a record. I don't know. Anyway, I have I have about 3 things to talk about today. The first thing is I want to thank everybody for the wonderful comments that you made on my video yesterday. They all just touched my heart. They were nice, loving, positive comments. I love all you girls. What can I say? You're just great and supportive. Now, the next topic is the TV is repaired. We had doctor's appointments this morning. The repairman was supposed to come after 3, and he gave me an emergency call and wanted to know if there's any way he could come earlier. And we were in my husband's doctor's appointment, and still in the waiting room, and I said to him, we haven't seen this doctor before. The waiting room's full. We've already waited a half an hour. I don't know when we'll be in. I can't tell you. So he said, well, just let me know when you get out, and then we'll see where I am. Because he wanted to stop at my house before he headed the other way. He was already south of my house, and before he headed way up north of my house, by about, 40 miles, he wanted to stop in and get me. Well, to make a long story short, we finally got in to see Charlie's dermatologist, new dermatologist. He's a lovely man. I don't know, he cut off more things off of poor Charlie's face, his ears, and now he's suggesting that he gets some kind of light treatment. He explained that some medication is put on, and then you set it under this light for an hour, and apparently skin cancers will, he told me, fall off. Who knew? News to me. Anyway, he wants to do a couple of treatments on his face and a couple of treatments on each arm. He's already had skin cancer on his this part of his hand and his his lower arm. So he would like to just do the light treatment and have these areas fall off. So, as I say, new kind of treatment. Sounds okay to me. No surgery involved. So, I'm going to read up on it a little more. But it sounds like he sounded like he knew what he was doing. And I also asked him, I said, what happens now? Do we go see his other doctor, his other surgeon, if these things on his face turn out to be cancer? He said, no. He said, unless it requires plastic surgery, which the other doctor is, a plastic surgeon. He said, no, he said, I can take care of them. So I guess we have ourselves a new doctor. And I said to the doctor, that's probably a good idea that I go in sometime, make an appointment for me, and have a few things looked at. Because I was in the generation where you didn't use sunscreen, you put stuff on to make the sun even more attracted to you. So, I've got a few little things here and there that should probably come off. But we will see what he wants to do. Yeah, he said when he comes back for a 6-month checkup, he's just come in with him. And I'll, set up an appointment for me at the same time. So that's all well and good. My poor husband didn't say boo during the whole thing. Of course, he had to. He stuck Novocaine in his ears on the side of his face and the other ear, remove stuff. He said he biopsied 2 things and got something off completely, so whatever. But he's like a trooper. Of course, he didn't really know what was going on. I knew because they were telling me what they were doing. And he was just sitting there, and they were cutting away at him and sticking the Novocaine in, or whatever, the anesthesia in the needle. And he didn't even flinch. In fact, he said I did more flinching than he did. Well, I don't really like needles, but that's another whole story. Oh, there was one more thing I did want to discuss. Oh, well, that's another thing. If anybody knows anything about the light treatment, I would appreciate if they've had it, tell me about it. If they didn't have it for a reason, tell me about it. It's going to be an interesting ride, I got a feeling. And probably after he goes for his first treatment, he's probably going to say, no more. I don't want to do anymore. I don't know. We'll see. I can't answer for him. But we did have a good day. As I say, the TV looks beautiful. And it didn't take the guy too long. And what I thought he was going to bring in the whole top section. But what he did was take, like, the back of it off and then lifted out the screen and changed it, and then put it in the back of the case. Now, I didn't stand over his shoulder and watch him fix the TV, so I don't know if there were wires or tubes or attachment in this black plastic, or if it was just kind of a base. I tried to stay out of the man's way and let him work. He didn't need us for anything. He lifted the TV down, put it on the floor, took it apart, went and got the other piece, put it in, hitched it back up. Probably took him a total of 15, 20 minutes. Wasn't here hardly any time. Picture is beautiful. Picture is beautiful. So we're back to a new TV. I also wanted to discuss my smoothies that I'm making. Now, I was influenced first by Katie from My Son Runs, and she made a delicious-looking smoothie, or delicious-sounding smoothie. And while I was watching that video, of course, on the sides, you get these other YouTube stations, and that's how I discovered this Rose, whatever her name is, from Healthy Beauty, or whatever I said in the last video. On the YouTube video, I don't remember. I should have looked it up again. But Healthy Beauty Tips, I'm not sure. But she had a few other things that she put into her smoothie. So I make it with kale, spinach, blueberries, banana, either a half or a full banana, some Greek yogurt, about a half a cup of Greek yogurt, almond milk, flax seeds, and I'm trying to think of the Asian spice, ginger. I got ginger root, cut off a little piece, peel it, chop it up, throw it in the blender, and we're good to go. It looks terrible. It actually looks terrible. But it doesn't taste too bad. And I really don't measure anything. I take a good handful of kale, a good handful of spinach, and as I say, about 3/4 of a cup of frozen blueberries, about a half a cup of yogurt, a little bit of ginger, either a half or a whole banana, depending on how much I want to drink. And almond milk, I also made it with coconut milk, but I think I prefer the almond milk. And I just pour it in till it looks like it's all going to mix up good. It's very thick, and probably because of the yogurt. I think if I left the yogurt out, it would be thinner. I don't put any ice cubes in because of the frozen blueberries. It makes it nice and cold. It is very thick. I'm sure other people would probably want to thin it down with maybe a little water or a few ice cubes. That brings me back to another point about that smoothie. You know how everybody's advertising the magic bullet juicer or whatever thing? I have a old, and God only knows how old that blender is. It's an austerizer blender that wasn't even mine to start off with. It belonged, I think, to my mother-in-law. So, God, that thing's got to be, I don't know. She died in 70-something, and she died in 73, and I got it after my father-in-law died, and he died in 76, but it came from that house, so I'm not sure who had it, whether it was my father-in-law's or my mother-in-law's, because I don't know. After she passed away, he went out and bought a few more things, like a Volvo car and stuff like that, you know. But that's all right. He was entitled to that. But anyway, I don't know if he might have purchased it after she had passed away. But anyway, that would have been 1973. So if it was right after she passed on or up until, as I say, he died in 76. So it's old. It does a terrific job. Now, that's what I'm saying about things with that. The old stuff lasts forever and does a good job. It's nothing fancy. I toyed with the idea of getting a fancy mixer, but then decided, no, just try mine. What was the worst that could happen? It could probably break, and then if it did, I'd have to go out and get the new juicer or a blender or one of these high-speed things. But it didn't. It works fine. So, I'm drinking healthy. Oh, one other thing about the video, my makeup, my hairdo video. I want to thank all you lovely ladies for not mentioning that one of my eyes is purple underneath. Now, I could see it a little bit while I was filming. I do not have a black eye. But apparently, outside here, the way the light comes in, it makes makes this side of my face darker so that the circles and the bags are even more pronounced than they are on this side. But see, if I go more in the light, it doesn't look as purple. But I noticed that. In fact, it was very obvious, and I don't know why I didn't notice it before I put the video up. But I did notice. And thank you, lovely ladies, for not saying what's wrong with your eye. And gee, you did a lousy job with your makeup, which was probably true. But I do appreciate. I so appreciate all those comments. You all made my day. So I just want to close this with a little bit of love for everybody. And you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. God bless.